Bonjour! Aujourd'hui, on va parler des mots interrogatifs, ou en anglais, question words. So we've already learned how you ask a yes or no question using both tone of voice and est-ce que. For example, il travaille à la banque? That question is asked using tone of voice. There's also est-ce que. Est-ce qu'il travaille à la banque? Today we're going to learn how to ask questions that are looking for more information instead of just yes or no. In English, we call these WH questions. For example, what, how, why, where, and when. So let's take a look. The formation of the questions that use question words is actually quite simple. All you have to do is take a regular yes or no question that uses est que. For example, est-ce que tu joues du piano? And you simply add the question word in front of est que. Où est-ce que tu joues du piano? The first question word that we are going to learn is où, which means where. Now be careful, we've seen a word very similar to this, and it is où without the accent. Without the accent grave above the U, the word becomes the conjunction or. So make sure that you have that accent above the U, the accent grave, when you want to say where. So our yes or no question, est-ce que tu joues du piano? Do you play piano? Becomes, où est-ce que tu joues du piano? Where do you play piano? All we did was added où, our question word, in front of est que, and then continued the rest of the question. Let's take a look at a few more examples. See if you can answer these questions yourself in your notes. Pause the video after each question to answer it. Then we'll go over it. Où est-ce que tu étudies? Pause now and try to answer the question. We could answer this a number of ways. I'm going to say, j'étudie à la bibliothèque. In my answer, I'm specifying where I study, which is exactly what the question asked. So, I study at the library. J'étudie à la bibliothèque. Numéro 2. Où est-ce que tu aimes dîner? Pause now to answer the question. I'm going to answer, j'aime dîner au restaurant. Okay, let's take a look at our second question word. Our second question word is quand, which means when. Again, the formation of the question is the same. You simply put quand in front of est que in your question. So, for example, est-ce que tu étudies? Do you study? Becomes quand est-ce que tu étudies? When do you study? So this time, instead of just yes or no question, we're looking for more information. When? So, for example, we could answer this question. J'étudie à 4 heures de l'après-midi. Let's take a look at another example. You could answer this one. Quand est-ce que tu vas à l'école? Pause for a second and see if you can answer this question. I'm going to answer, je vais à l'école à 7h30. Okay, let's take a look at another question word. The question word comment means how. And we do not pronounce the NT at the end of the word. It's pronounced comment. So our question, est-ce que tu étudies? Becomes, comment est-ce que tu étudies? Again, the question word goes right in front of est que. How do you study? Un autre exemple, comment est-ce que tu vas à l'école? I could answer this. Je vais à l'école en voiture. So the question was, how do you go to school? Comment est-ce que tu vas à l'école? And the answer was, I go to school in a car. Okay, let's take a look at another question word. Our next question word we have actually seen before, pourquoi. And when you answer the question word pourquoi, you answer with parce que. So let's take a look at an example. Est-ce que tu aimes le café? Do you like coffee? Becomes pourquoi est-ce que tu aimes le café? Why do you like coffee? We could answer this question. J'aime le café parce que c'est délicieux. I could ask you, pourquoi est-ce que tu étudies le français? Pause for a second to see if you can answer the question. We could answer, j'étudie le français parce que c'est facile. The most important thing to remember about a question with pourquoi is that you answer with parce que. And parce que is 2 words. Be careful about that. It is 2 words. Parce que. The last question word that we're going to learn today is que, which means what. And when we put it in front of est-ce que, we drop the E and make it Q-U apostrophe. Just like sometimes we drop the E in je, for example, with j'aime, because of the vowel. So when we pronounce this question word right here, it's pronounced qu'est-ce que. Be careful, not est-ce que, but qu'est-ce que. There's a que sound in front of it. Qu'est-ce que. Let's take a look at some examples. Qu'est-ce que tu regardes? What are you watching? And we could answer, je regarde la télévision. Numéro 2. Qu'est-ce que Jean étudie? What is John studying? We could answer, Jean étudie la science. Okay, so let's review the question words really quickly. The first one we looked at was où, which means where. The second one was quand, which means when. The third one was comment, which means how. The fourth one was pourquoi, which means why. And the last one was que, which means what. So we have où, quand, comment, pourquoi, et que. So keeping these in mind, let's go answer some questions. Okay, so this time I want you to pause the video and answer these 3 questions in complete sentences. Be careful to pay attention to which question word is being used. Pourquoi, où, and que. So pause the video now, answer the questions, and we'll go over the answers. Did you pause? Okay, let's take a look at the answers. Okay, here are some potential answers. Your answers will vary from mine, so use these answers to check your grammar and make sure that you have subject-verb agreement and all of that good stuff. And if you have any questions about your answers, I'd be glad to take a look at them tomorrow. So, numéro 1. J'étudie le français parce que c'est utile et amusant. Numéro 2. J'étudie à la bibliothèque et chez moi. Chez moi is a great prepositional phrase that means at my house. Et numéro 3. J'aime mon chat. Again, chez moi, at my house. Okay, la fin. Don't forget to write all of your questions down and you'll be able to ask them in class tomorrow. Au revoir.